Okay, ladies, 35 to 45, it's time to become less boring. And I'm going to tell you how, because everyone is very boring and does the same things, and it's truly pathetic and it's very boring. So I'm going to tell you exactly what you need to do. There's four things. And the first one is you need a hobby, okay? You need a hobby. And if you don't have one already, pick up reading, learning another language, doing something interesting, something different, okay? I always suggest learning another language. Learning something is always an interesting and good hobby, and it also gives you something good to talk about. It's good conversation when you meet people and you're out and you're talking, and we'll get to that point later. But pick up a hobby, and it can be artistic, musical, it can be academic, it can be anything. Whatever you're drawn to, just start doing it. Even if you suck, as long as you like it and it's something that can take your mind from the present and just take you to another place where you can go like mind blank and zone out and do something that's like just mindless, but at the same time it takes you into another space where you enjoy yourself. That's a good hobby, okay? So find a hobby. Number two is you need to exercise, and you need to have an exercise routine. And whether that be going to the gym, or I didn't even notice this shirt has little lip holes. That's cute. I like it. Going to the gym. If you're a gym girly, then good, go to the gym. But I'm not. I hate that, and you know that I run, but there's other things, there's other times where I'm like, I want to do more than run, I want to do something else. So look at your community centers, look at places around you, and like start playing volleyball or play like women's like floor hockey or anything. Like just get out there. And this is interesting, this makes you not boring if you like play volleyball once a week or women's floor hockey. Like that's fun as hell, and you'll meet a good group of women. This brings me to another point as well, and you'll meet people, you'll have an opportunity to socialize, and you're getting exercise in there, and you're doing something different. It makes you a little bit more mysterious. Like not every woman does that. Like instead of going to yoga every morning and like drinking your green juice like everybody else, you're gonna like hit the floor hockey on Thursday night after work. Like who the hell does that, right? That's an interesting woman, and that is not boring. So do something not boring. And the third thing is you need to get a life, okay? So you absolutely need to get a life, and it's hard to do, especially if you're shy, if you're broke, if you're saving for something, or if you don't have a big friend group and you don't have friends that are at the same place in your life. I mean, this is a challenge for me because in my life, my friends at my age are all having their kids, and they're into their probably around their second marriages around now, second round two. But I'm single and my kids are grown up, and it's a different situation for me. So I'm in a different place than most women my age. So it's hard to maintain a friend group. Okay. So the things I'll do and what works for me is to meet and socialize. Is I do get on Facebook groups, and I'll find groups that have things in common with me, and I'll socialize that way, and then arrange meetups and this kind of stuff. But the other thing I do that is the most fun of all is I'll get dressed up and I'll go to bars at night. I'll go to pubs in my area, and I'm lucky I'm in an area where there's a lot of them. There's a whole strip, and I'll get dressed up and I'll go out, and I don't drink, so it's a really cheap night for me. I'll drink some club soda and lime and order it, and I'll just talk to people. And when people ask me like, what are you doing here or whatever, sometimes I'll tell them I'm just like bored at home, so I came out for a drink just to chat and see who's here. But if you are uncomfortable saying that, at first when I started doing this, I was uncomfortable saying this. So I would say, oh, I was meeting someone here and they bailed on me at the last minute, so here I am. Or I was meeting someone for dinner and they bailed on me, so I stopped in for a drink. And that's what I would say when I was uncomfortable and I didn't know what to say. Now I'm just straight up. I'm like, I was bored and I was at home, and I thought, why the hell not come out and see who's out here and meet some people? And I meet people, like I'll end up talking and meeting different friend groups and socializing. And sometimes when I go out, I'll see the same group and I've all of a sudden instantly got a group to hang out with. Or I end up switching numbers with people or Instagrams or whatever, and we stay in touch and we keep talking. And then you have someone to make plans with to go out that goes to the same places as you and you already know and have a connection with. And that's really important. And socializing and how you socialize with people is another really important thing. The one thing we all have in common is we all work, but you don't want to get right to the what do you do for a living? What do you do for a living? That's kind of tricky. So if you have things like hobbies to talk about, and so that's why, I mean, everyone always starts with what do you do? Because that's the one thing everyone has in common. So it's an easy go-to. But if you have hobbies, if you have things that you do that you're interested in, stuff like that, you can drop those things into conversation a little bit, okay? And that'll give you other things to talk about. They'll be like, oh, my brother does that, or my sister-in-law is into that. Or I tried to learn French a few years ago, and I'm really good at it, or I sucked at it, or, conversations will come up based on the other things you're doing in your life to become not boring, okay? And the very fourth and most important thing is to stop oversharing. You need to be a little bit mysterious. And for example, one of my huge hobbies is that I play the cello, but nobody knows this about me because I'm a little bit mysterious, right? It's just something I keep to myself. I love it. I play the cello, and nobody that I meet, I really drop about this. There's a few people in my life, once I get close enough, they know. But for the most part, nobody knows. And that's okay. And the reason people are psychologically prone to oversharing is for two reasons. First reason is because, especially at our age, we feel like a time crunch. We're looking to make connections quickly. And it's very easy to overshare, expecting that the other person will overshare. And then you feel like you have that connection and you are racing and rushing to build a connection with somebody when that's really not how it works. All you're doing is chasing somebody away, and you're making yourself more boring because there's no mystery to that when you share everything all at once. There's no one to get to know. You've already told them everything about yourself, and you've told them the good and the bad and the ugly, usually, because it's not an attractive quality to share everything all at once. The second reason people do this is because they're lonely, and they just are so grateful to have someone to talk to and someone to share with that they will start doing it. But you know what, ladies? Get a fucking diary, because that's what a diary is for. Overshare in your diary, and when you meet people and you're talking to them, don't overshare. Be a little mysterious. Keep a little to yourself, and let things out a little bit at a time, naturally, at a reasonable pace, not all at once. And don't share your dirty laundry, ever. You'll know when it's time to share your dirty laundry, and don't you do it first. Keep that to yourself. If you've had a bad ex or a bad relationship in the past, or one of your kids is a really big problem for you right now, or you're having problems with whatever, with your manager at work, keep this stuff to yourself. Keep your dirty laundry to you and share the positive things. People are drawn to people who make them feel good. And it's not about what you have to offer at all. It's about how you make people feel. And that's what makes people like you and how they're drawn to you. So the feeling you leave them with is what they'll remember you by, and whether they want to see and engage with you again. So if you're negative, then you're going to make them feel negative, and that's not a feeling people chase, so they're not going to be drawn or attracted to see you again. If you make people feel positive and good about themselves and feel like they had a good time and a positive time, and that's the thing they remember, and that's the most predominant memory they have of their exchange with you, then that's going to be beneficial. You leave them feeling good and positive, and they'll want to see you again. So that's it. Be mysterious. The biggest number one piece of advice. All right, ladies, so don't forget it. And definitely, if you know somebody who could use this, and we all probably do, share this video with them, because these are the kind of pieces of advice us ladies need to share with each other, because it's a need to know. It's not like a nice to know. These are need to know things, okay? So share it with someone you care about, and don't share it with someone that you don't. And I will see you all soon. Have a great night.